what's up, y'all? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here for episode 7. We're gonna do some French curls, some French curl braids on our hair. My hair looks crazy right now, so I'm showing y'all the hair. It's kind of hard to pronounce, but I'll link it in the bio. It's the French curl braiding hair in the color T30. It's a 24-inch, and each bundle came with this little net to keep the curl kind of together, which I loved. So yeah, we're gonna get into this hairstyle, y'all. Do these braids real quick. See how it looks. I'm really excited. So I wanted to show y'all some of the products that we're going to be using. This is my handmade whip. It's got aloe, glycerin, and some oils whipped together. We have the Cantu Edge Control, which I love. I'm running out of it. I'm using it so much. But it's made with shea and essential oils. It's sulfate free, which I love. And then, of course, my main growth oil that I sell on my website. And I'll put the link in the bio for you guys as well. And it's really good for your scalp hair growth and scalp itching. And I got my scissors so I can cut these little gold ties off of the hair. And some mousse. This is the Lotta Body Milk Mousse. I use it on my edges, and I don't think I'm going to do that again, but I'll show you guys what that looks like. So first thing we're going to do is disinfect and clean our hair utensils. A lot of people forget about this step, but I have a sensitive scalp. So I definitely clean and advise y'all to do the same if you have a sensitive scalp like me. So I just put everything kind of in there with some hot water in the sink. Clean the sink first, of course. Fill it up with hot water. And this is really good to like create a healthy scalp environment. So that's antibacterial soap. And then I added baking soda as well. And then I just let it sit in the hot water so that I can disinfect and clean. And I use these brushes on myself, my kids, my husband, so it's good to just clean them periodically. And then I parted my hair off. I know that looks crazy. I always laugh at myself when I have this little bun, but this is how I part. You could part your way. This just works for me. And I start at the back. I'm showing you guys how I kind of reach the top, and then I start, on the top part of the hair. So this is what the hair looks like right out of the net. It's super silky. Like really, really silky. So you guys, some people had issues in the reviews. I saw people said the hair was slipping. So that's the purpose of using the edge control to kind of, make sure you're able to grip. But the hair is very silky, but that's part of the style. It's supposed to be because you're leaving the ends out when you actually do the braids, the curl part of it. So the hair is meant to be like that. So I'm just cutting these things off right here. I'm saying silky. But yeah, so I part off. I tried to turn around to show you guys. I actually went back and made that part a little bit skinnier. It was a little too thick. I believe I did. And that was the second time right here. But yeah, just part off in the back. And then I usually you could use a hair clip or like a, scrunchie or hair tie. But I usually use a comb. This helps me to keep it in place and make sure I'm not getting it confused with the other hair. So I'm just putting a little bit of this whip. Now, you don't want to put too much of this shea butter whip. Again, this will be on the website. I don't sell it during the summer months because it melts in transit. But once fall comes, I'll be selling that again. But you don't want to oversaturate your hair because it will make the hair slip out even more. And then you see me going along the root. I'm careful not to put this on my scalp, the Cantu Edge Control, because I don't want to irritate my scalp. So I'm just putting it directly on the hair. And then I kind of do a little twirl just to keep the hair in one section. Now, you can do these braids knotless. I did, if you want to see some knotless braids, I have some knotless braid videos. But for these, because of the slipping, because the hair is so silky and my hair is kind of thin, I just went ahead in with the knotted method to make sure that it stays in place. So if you see, I just tied the hair around mine and used my hair as the third strand. And then once I braid it down a few times, then of course you can start the borrowing process. And I think you'll see me do that borrowing on one of these clips here. But yeah, you're just braiding down. I think this also helped me to go faster than I would have if I was doing knotless as well, because I didn't have to section the hair off and feed it in and have so many different pieces for it. And it just made me feel a little more secure with it. So yeah, now I'm showing you guys I made so much progress. I was really just trying to get done. So I'm almost done in the back, and then I had that little piece right there. And then I wanted to show you guys, like, the hair I was kind of worried because some of the reviews talked about tangling, but look at how easily it comes apart. that just made my heart so happy because it was like not as much tangling as I thought there was going to be. Um, you see, it just was so silky and so pretty. So I wanted to show you guys how to do a couple of them that are in the front. You see me cleaning up my parts right here. I mean, you can use the Cantu edge control to kind of help you with parting if you don't have scalp issues like me. I just try to, you could even soak the hair in apple cider vinegar prior to as well if you have scalp problems. I didn't do that because I didn't know how that was going to have an effect on the curl. And I didn't really want to strip the hair in any way. If it was just regular knotless braids, I would have done that. But for this process, I just didn't want to put too much stuff on my scalp. So you see me going with a little bit of my shea butter hair whip. And I'm not putting too much because I don't want it to slip. But I'm putting enough on there because you do want your hair hydrated. And you want, obviously, it's a protective style. Your whole purpose is for your hair to grow. So you'll see me putting that Cantu edge control right there. And again, that stuff's sulfate free. It's really good for your hair. It doesn't have a bunch of horrible things in it, so I didn't feel that bad about using it for this process, but I kind of had to use something. And you'll see me wrapping it around my hair again, creating that knot, and then this is where I pull really tight to make sure it's on my, right up to my scalp. And then I just start braiding like a normal braid. I use the edge control to make sure that there's no slipping. And then I just keep braiding down. But in total, this hairstyle really didn't take me as long as I thought. And I thought it was just probably mainly because I didn't do the knotless. The knotless probably would have slowed me down a lot with having to pull so many different pieces out. But once I braid down a few times, then I stop here and I bring my arms over so I'm not having to like strain. And you see I'm still using my hair as a third strand. And then you'll see me start the borrowing process. And I really was happy with this color as well. I kind of wanted a little color. My hair is black, dark brown. And this color had like some honey tones, and the ends of it was like a light honey brown, which was really pretty. So I think this is where I start. You see how my natural strand is starting to get my hair is a little shorter in the front than it is in the back. So now I am going to borrow a little piece from one. Just like that. Put a little bit of the edge control to kind of keep your hair in there. And then I'm going to go again. And then I'll borrow from the other hair piece too as well. And that's just how I do it. Of course, there's a couple of different ways that you could do this process. But the borrowing at the end versus doing it all the way up at the top just kind of works out better for me. And then we just keep braiding down. And I think this next part is where I show you guys. I use rubber bands on the ends. Yeah, I think I'm showing y'all that now. So you can use nail glue. I tried that, but for me, I had to keep tapping it with my fingers and I didn't like the feeling. So I ended up using the rubber bands, which to me, it wasn't really too bad to use the rubber bands. So I just did that. But you can use nail glue if you wanted. Here I'm completed and done. And I did like a kind of layered effect. So the ones in the back, I braided down a little further. And then towards the middle, I, stopped braiding a little bit higher, to leave more of the curl out. And then towards the front even higher so that I created like a layered effect. This is what the hair looked like. We'll do an update for you guys to see if it tangles over time. But this is what it looked like after I did it. Here I'm just cutting off like the little excess straggler pieces from the bottom that we don't need. And this time I did leave some edge out. Usually I just kind of, when I'm doing knotless, it's not so much tension. But because there was a lot of tension this time around because I was pulling a little tighter to ensure that the hair doesn't slip, I left my edges out so that so that I could keep them, so that it's not pulling too tight on my edges. So that's why the hair is out like that. So now I'm telling y'all, like, nope, we're gonna get that together. That's the edge control, and I ran out. I was so upset, but I had to use what I had because it was getting late. It was dark. So I was like, well, I could try to use the mousse, but it didn't really work out like I wanted to. Once I put the hot towel, and you'll see me do that, once I put it over my hair, it kind of actually made my hair. It's a curly mousse, so obviously, right? I should have thought of that, but I ran out of the edge control. I did end up finding underneath my sink that I had some gel, so I was able to use that gel, and that worked a little better than the mousse. But the mousse I had bought for the ends. So once the ends start to get a little bit like tangled or matted or anything like that, I got the mousse to kind of revive them. But I ended up trying to see if I could use it on my edges here since I used all my edge control by mistake. But that edge control, that little actual jar lasted me a while because I did a couple of hairstyles prior to this one with that. And it's not really too big. I think it might be like 4 ounces if I'm not mistaken. But that was the best we could do with the edges. And then I went in because you can't dip your braids because of the French curl hair and how it's out at the bottom. Look at me burning myself. Just crazy. But I took a hot towel and I put it in the microwave a couple seconds. Please watch it in the microwave. Don't leave it in for too long. And then I just kind of took it out and put it over my braids. This felt great actually. Oh, that felt so good. Not gang gang. But I put it over my braids, so it feels really good. And it like was soothing to the scalp, but also it just loosens up the stiffness of your braids because you can't dip them in hot water like you would normally. So I just kind of did this, and actually I did this like 2 or 3 times because they were still a little stiff for my liking after I did it the first time. Yeah, that feels great. You just got to be careful not to burn yourself. Don't do like me. I was being impatient, and I really wanted it to be like super hot, so I just took it out and put it on my head. But yeah, that's how you do it for I did it one more time. Yeah. Okay, so out of those 8 packs, I ended up with 2 left. And I didn't realize it came with this, but it's got a crochet, some little black rubber bands, and a cute little spray bottle. I guess you could use that to put water and oil to spray the ends of your hair. And I still had 2 packs left, and I had a small little piece left too. I believe I show y'all that as well. Small piece from a third bundle. So I'm really, really happy with the results. The hair was really nice. I was worried that it was going to tangle while I was doing it, and I would end up wasting a lot of hair because of it. There was like no tangling, no shedding. Like it was just a really good experience. So I definitely recommend the hair. You see my edges curled up once I used the towel and that mousse, so I ended up going in with gel. But this is what the ends look like. So pretty. I love the color. I'm glad that I didn't just get black. And this is the little piece I was left with. Yeah, so that's pretty good. And I still have 2 packs left for another style. So now I'm going to go ahead with my main growth oil. This is my herbal oil. It's steeped in oils and herbs. And it's really good for scalp itching, hair growth, hair thinning, hair loss, alopecia, you name it. It's good for everything. And it's really soothing to the scalp. It feels amazing when you use it, especially after you're getting braids. And so it's on the link is on my website. Of course, the link is in the bio, and also I'm going to put the website across the screen here so you guys can check it out. But it's majesticbeautybyNini.com, and I have a hair care line. I sell cosmetics, skincare, lip care. We have like something for everybody. So if you guys are interested in this oil, I'm telling you, I use it on pretty much every style that I wear because it's so hydrating. It's really, really amazing. So yeah, and it's also currently on sale as well. So you guys check out the website and get yours today. I'm rubbing it in the back. It feels good to do that when you pulled your hair a little too tight. All right, so this is what we are left with. And I'll show you guys the full look. Of course, if you don't like the rubber bands, I get it. There's also a way to knot your hair. To me, that was a little too time consuming. I was trying to get done. And then the glue, again, you have to like kind of pinch it with your finger, and it was leaving like a glue residue, and it felt weird when I was braiding, so I didn't do that process. But this is what we're left with. This is how they fall, kind of the layered look. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for next episode.